Mm-hmm. The boys are back in town, boys are back in town. Sika Otto says, "Hey Sam and hi. Hello, how are you? Thank you for the like on the stream as well." Cheeky wee dart. Ron says hi. Hi, Ron. Dork says hi. Hi, Dork. Sanika says hi. Hi, Sanika. Free likes on the stream. Thank you very much for the likes, everybody. Chris YT says, "Nice shot." Thank you, Chris. Oh, what a start. Consistency is key. Kalidu says hi. Hello, how are you? Six likes on the stream. Thank you all for the likes. Fallen says hi. Hi, Fallen. How are you? 8 likes on the stream. Somebody's firing in the hearts there too. Appreciate it. Chaz, it says, "I meant a nice shot." Your first comment didn't even come through, Chaz. Oh. Explorer Eric says hi. The real Gaman says yo. Los Comos Leonos says hi. Hello. Yes, sir. 3 in a row. Chris says. Yeah, almost got the 5. Just left it a bit short. That's why we have the tempo up. Skibbity Noodle says damn. More to eat. Jelani says hi. Hi, Jelani. And the artist also says hi. Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? Happy Friday to you. Elise says, what club do you have? We have the Rife 2 bar. Necesito la says, hey. Hey, how are you? The goat says hi. Hi, the goat. Mesa says hi, bro. Hi, how are you? Sally says hi. Hi, Sally. Pebble says, how are you? Because I'm good. Good, Pebble. I'm great. The goat says, sup. All good. Goat, how are you? 12 likes in the stream, guys. Thank you so much to all of you that have liked so far. Seeing how many 9-footers we're going to make in a row here. That is 10 in a row. May Sam ask what country are you from? I'm from Northern Ireland. Howdy diddle do, Sam says downhill. What's happening, sir? Welcome back. Sam says, what's up, man? Switch side next put. Let's check things up a bit. Yeah, maybe at the end of the stream, Sam. Get left. We did actually do the other side, the last stream. On Wednesday. Wish we could turn back time. Back to the good old days. Looks like it's going to be a slow start to the streak. Patrick says hello. Hello, Patrick. How are you? VC says I sold. Thank you, VC. Appreciate it. Tony asks how much it costs. About £70 sterling. Pooter says hi. Hi, Pooter. And Maria Chetty also says hi. Hello. Welcome to the stream, everybody. 17 likes in the stream. Patrick says, do you remember me? Of course, Patrick. I remember every single comment. Bobby says hi. Hi, Bobby. What's the biggest streak up to now then? Thomas asks. The biggest we've got is 102. And Bobby asks, how are we? All good. How are you, Bobby? Yeah, Thomas, our biggest streak's 102. We were sitting on 76 for a while, but cooked the other day and got 102. Bobby says he's good. Axel says hi. Hi, Axel. How do you live stream asks? Just click the button and you're good to go. Bobby says this is impressive. Thanks, Bobby. RP says, do you play golf? Yes, RP. Go. 20 likes in the stream. Thank you very much. The real says it don't work. Not sure what's wrong with your stream, sir. I don't think there's any requirements to go live. Bobby asked where are you from. I'm from Northern Ireland, Bobby. Freddie says that you're good. Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate it. Try my best. The real says I've reached 50 subscribers and it don't work. Strange. I think I started live stream when I had 100 odd, so can't imagine why. Okay, right. How are the golf courses in Ireland? Lovely RP, good weather for it, like for the grass. Thomas says not too shabby then, great on you. Cheers, Thomas. Did you go to Port Sunday? I did not, Connor. Bobby says I can hear the accent. RP says, oh yeah, you wrote gold courses. Nope, you're on good, RP. Didn't even notice you wrote gold. The text is that small on this iPad. 22 likes in the stream. Thank you all for the likes, appreciate it. How long have you had your account for? Sometimes there's requirements on that. Oh, need to work on the pace again. Too much real golf lately. There might be a restriction on how long or how many videos you need or something. Create more shorts. Strange. Connor says good friend stays in Ballymena. Lovely. Ballymena, hi. Kirsten says hi. Hello, Kirsten. Connor says Northern Ireland that close. What do you mean, Connor? RP asked how long have you been golfing for? About 5 years. Wireman Crawford says everybody double tap. Thank you. Trying to get the likes in. 31 likes in the stream. Thank you, everybody. Steve says hi. Hi, Steve. How are you? JD21 says hi. Hi, JD. Kit Kat says hi. Hi, Kit Kat. Welcome back. Shout out to Josh. Happy birthday. Is that 10 or 5, chat? Jigma says, who's the goat in golf? Kit Kat says, me. Goat, like you obviously, you have to say Tiger. My favourite's Tommy Fleetwood. Shout out Pat. Happy birthday, Pat. Why not use more golf? Let's just curious RP. I just do it in stacks of 5 so I can count it better. Steve says, love the golf. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'm going to try my best, that's for sure. $42 likes in the stream. Thank you so much for the likes, everybody. Ooh. Keep up the good work, Persian. Steve asks what my handicap is. 11.9 currently, Steve. Mahalo says extremely easy putt, sure. Good, Mr. Fankanika. I'm back to remember you. Says roll on. Yes, roll on. Welcome back. Wiremoo says he makes it look easy. Thank you. I get what he's saying about more balls though. You know, don't forget if you've done 5 or 10. If you had 10 times, that's true. Downhill, it's probably just gonna be hard to control. For example. Oh my word. After doing this, but there's 10 of them. Not as easy to stop from a foot. But I do know what you mean. I get what you mean. Alessandro says hi. Hi, Alessandro. Kanika says she wants to do it too. Your handicap is really low. I'm 1. I can definitely get down to 1 or 2. I believe in you. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Go. $46 likes in the stream. Thank you so much for all the likes. A lot of love in the chat tonight. Can you feel the love tonight? Roland says, trust me, I've been sub for a while. He is great. Everybody sub. Thank you. So much support tonight. Kanika says, nice. Steve says, you've gained a sub and a like from me. Steve, you're a gent. Thank you so much. Kanika says 30. This is 4:30 now, isn't it? 49 likes in the stream. Thank you so much for all the likes. Whoa. Might as well try and do that with twice as many. I think it says 40. think she's saying how many she wants to see. Unless I've completely got my maths wrong. Johnny says this is a guy who you bring to the scramble and he only brings his putter. Thanks, John. Don't know if many of you watched the last scramble video we put up there on the shorts, but see the putts on 7 and 8. Crazy. He had 48 feet putts in 2 holes. Trent says hi. Welcome back. Trent, how are you?
Okay, right.
Weremy says double tap the screen. Thank you very much. 53 likes in the stream. Thank you, everybody. Get a lap putter. Oh, I would love a lap putter, LB. I would love one. People don't like the look of them, but I just think they look like you couldn't miss. See what I mean? They're dear enough anyway. Summer Free says hi. Hi, Summer Free. How are you? Roland says no, he puts awesome with this putter. Oh, this is it. If it ain't broke, as I say. LB says I'll send you one. Yes, please. $53 likes in the stream. Thank you very much. Send an address. No problem, sir. I'll have to get a wee business email or something attached to my YouTube. That's the second person now who's offered me free clubs. Okay, where was your guy from, guys? Golf clubs for cash or something? That last year? Is that 40? Or am I tripping? Correct me if I'm making mistakes, John. Steve says my name is Josh. Gotcha. Are you using somebody else's account, Josh? Warmy's begging for the likes to get in. Come on, guys, make Crawford happy. Yeah, 40 if you get 8 behind each other. I sub Boy Master. Okay. Does that mean in a row? So I'm on 45, is that right? Counted wrong? Yeah. Josh says he uses that, so no problem. I'll try to remember, Josh. Correct me though if I read Steve. Alright, so I'll skip 10 now. Negative 50 if I make 5 in a row here. Why don't you do actual practice? I've only got about 300 videos of me playing actual golf on my channel. Chris said hi. Hi, Chris. Get left. Roland says yes, he plays golf. Roland is on support all night tonight. Appreciate you. Ali says, man, that was amazing. Thank you, Ali. There's 50. Smooth operator. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm feeling the board's not going to play tonight. Play ball. Gamer says hi, hi gamer. Hermia says good at golf, thank you. Boymaster says hi. Hermia says hi. Chad said use a machine. Steve said use a smaller hole. Marcus says hi. KitKat says I don't think he's ever missed. Definitely have, unfortunately. Or sorry, Steve, that's now Josh. How did I get down the class? Boymaster says I subbed and you completely ignored. Yeah, so there's no notification for sub as Boymaster. I do apologise. It is a shame. I would like it if there was a wee pop up, but there isn't, so I do apologise. Guys, if you do sub and you want to shout out, just drop a comment. So shout out Boymaster for the sub, thank you. Rosaru says hi. Hello. Definitely got you pretty. Roland says he put that on Scotty. I don't know about that. That needs to go. Dead too. Gamer says hi, bro. Hi. O'Kane says whereabouts you playing an eye. Just a local golf or casual course in County Armagh. Right, that's 55. Yes, chat. Rudy says hi, hi Rudy. Ralph says what up, King. All good, Ralph. How are you? Or Ralph, sorry, is it? Rosary says hi, hi. Rosary and Gamer spamming the highs. Hello, how are you? William says hi, hi William. Steve asked what's the thing I do where I push it forward and push it back. So basically, I was trying doing this as a pump technique before, so I'm just basically getting into that position where I'm pulling my arms towards my torso to lock them out, or lock them in, I suppose. So then it all moves in one motion. Rosary says I sub, thank you very much. Warmy says what's the record? 102 currently. Ooh. 102. 62 likes in the stream. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate all the likes. Rosary said I said thank you very much. Tesla says, how are you so good when you hit it literally follows the line? Just practice. Just practice. KitKat says update your subs. Yes, thank you KitKat, I will in a second. Unfortunately I have to flick on a different app now. Whenever you get over 1,000 subs, it doesn't update you on the YouTube app anymore. You have to swap over. Excuse me. Handicap currently 11.9. Ali says, "What's your top score?" Yeah, 102 in a row. Rosary says, "I subbed." Thank you, Rosary. Appreciate that. Top of that. Or Lassie. Can't say anymore. Steve says that's a very good drill. Thank you, Steve. Seems to be working for us anyway. Ivor says, hi Ivor, how are you? I could do with another pen soon. So I could. Record night tonight, I'll say this. Come on. Golf looks so fun, Kilo says. Think so? Definitely funner than it looks, in my opinion. Otto says what brand? This is the Rife 2 bar, or 2 bar, sorry. KitKat on the sub update. 73 likes in the stream. Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry, KitKat. I will check in a bit in the flow state right now. Good to hear, Val. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I really want to play around with you. Okay. Because I'm 12 years old, 20 handicap, I really want to play around with you. Yeah, 20 handicap's good. Especially for 12. Otto says hi and same. Appreciate this. Depends, pal, how much are you going to donate? Some dodgy requests in the chat there. Gabansel? Is that how you pronounce that? Says hi. How's it going? 77 likes in the stream. Thank you so much, everybody. Ali says, man, he got talent. I'm going to bet him making the 150. Oof. Money and tax. Money and tax. Valerie says, you got this. Thank you, Valerie. Appreciate it. You do you, Val. Who am I to interrupt the man's needs? My streak will be minus 47. It's okay, he can't go negative. Derek says you got this. Thank you, Derek. Appreciate it. Josh says, I look up to you, you're my hero. Thanks. Josh is Steve, for anybody wondering. Just to make it up compliments. Jimmy says hi. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? Harrison says hi. Hi, Harrison. Santiago says he can't afford any bets. Fair enough, San Diego. Only horse you bet on yourself, am I right? Do correct me, guys, if I make any mistakes on the board, because I'm obviously trying to do this putt and read the comments, so easy enough to get confused. Jimmy says hi, I'm good. Steve asked, where do you play at? Just play at a local council course near my house. Chicken circle, as I said. Amelia says hi, hi, Emil, how are you? Katie, or Kataya, sorry, says hi. Hi, Kataya. I will pronounce your name right. $10 for each goal over 150, I know. Couple of hustlers in the chat. Jack says hi. Hi, Jack, how are you? Hi, Jack. Vegas says, what's up? All good, Vegas. How are you? Jimmy says, you're good. Thank you, Jimmy. Al says, hi. Hi, Al. How are you? Boslav says hi. Hi. No. That was touch business. Steve says, is it in England? No, I'm from Northern Ireland, Steve. Or sorry, Josh. Sass says hi. Hi, Sass. And Roland Briggs says hi again. What a guy. 4 100 puts in a row. 84 likes in the stream, guys. Thank you so much for all the likes. Love yous. Okay, so the current record is 102. Can we cook? Money talks, dirty cash, hold you, dirty cash. Whoa, let me see. Kit Kat says he deserves 1 million subs. He's so talented. Thank you, Kit Kat. Appreciate it. Crawford says you're just a chill guy. For real. Steve or Josh says I live near Ishbich. Nice. Any golf courses around there? There's a new record, folks. Esmeralda says hi. Hi, Esmeralda. How are you? Steve says nowhere near each other. Ah, it's only a flight away. Well, maybe do a subscriber special one day, will we? What's the most clickbait title you could think of? I challenged 100 subs to a golf tournament. Yes, Ryder. In with the chicken jockeys. Good to see you. It's something to miss that. Mario says hi. Hi, Mario. How are you? A Polish name says hi. Sorry, I can't read that. I think that's Polish. Go. Moreno says hi. Hi, Moreno. Go. Go. 94 likes in the stream. Wow. Thank you very much. Mason says, don't ignore my comment. It didn't come up, Mason. It must filter it out. That is 110 pots in a row. Get in. Money talks. Crawford says he needs focus. Josh says, how often do you upload? I pretty much do a short every day, give or take. Go live 3 to 4 times a week. Long form videos. About once every 2 weeks or so. Trying to get better at it, but it's hard. You don't want to rush them, do you know what I mean? But yeah, live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night. Get right. Downhill, thanks, Woof. Cheated. Mario says hi. Hi, Mario. That's okay. We'll stack 5. Let's dig. Justin Jaja says just a sovereign. He's passing by to say hi. What is the crack? Lorena says hi. Rory says hi. Hi everybody, how are you? Anton says hi. Rory says you're so good. Thank you, Rory. When Rory tells you you're good at golf, you listen. Carter the boss says hi. Hi Carter, how are you? Josh says focus on your golf, that's the most important thing. So we'll do number 5 then, before we update the board. Keep downhill happy. Sorry, Robert. I said why are you saying money sucks? It's money talks. right, left. Oh. Oh. So 115 then. What was the new PB? All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out places. Russian name looks like says hi. Apologies, can't read that. Callie says missed one on purpose. There you go, Callie, just for you. Rohan said no, Rory said hi again. Darnell says still a record night. Oh, that's sure. That's it. We're better than we were yesterday. Rory says you're so good. I've already read that out, or did you say that twice? Instinct says hit it with less pace. I can't because there's a ramp at the end. A lot make it up the hill if you had it slower. Thank you for the advice. Stormando says hi. Hi Stormando, how are you? Steve says what golf clubs do you have? I pretty much have tailor-mades for the bag. R11s are an M1 driver, which the weight broke off of unfortunately. Titleist wedges I think. And a few Callaway wedges. No. Crawford. Downhill's top fan. Nah, what's the saying? It's okay, good job, Roland says thank you. Appreciate you. It's fun to restart anyway. Callie says hi. Oh, I get it, money talks. Roland says get out. Bean says hi, hi Bean. Steve says favourite golf brand. TaylorMade I think, I'll be honest. Kibu says hi, hi Kibu. Get right. Jay says use a driver. I wish I could. I wanted to make this a sim room actually, but the roof's just a touch too small. Sport says where is this easier? He's really good at putting. Bit of both. Ron says he's just good. Wiremy says you got this. Lackery says hi. Sports Ed says thank you. Steve says what golf balls do you use? Right now I'm using 3 Titleist true fields and 2 Shrixon soft fields. But on the course I just play whatever. Not too bothered. For now I know. Lynn's X says hi. Hello, that's missing. No. But we use the small hole for you. That's what she said. Maybe this will be the new setup. We'll do a bonus difficulty side. Need a soccer player for an edit. Mason Mount. Steve says longest ever drive. On record, 300. I think I've hit 315 on the course. Only know because they painted the 300 yard line for Captain's Day the day before. Right, I'm off before I put you off. That's okay, Downhill. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Although you're going to miss us setting the record on the small side. Emil says hi. Hi, Emils. Roland says, holy cow, get out. Steve says hi. Mario says hi. Josh says minus 252 is 12. Well, that's good. Good drive. Turbide says hi. Hi, Turbide. This is when the real show begins, Crawford says. Yes, sir. I'm probably not even in the shot, am I? Probably prefer it that way. Fash said hi. Hi, Fash. Favorite golf club in the bag ever? I love the Savinwood. I think it was R7 in my old bag before I got stolen. It was lovely. An OG Savinwood. Mary says hi. Hi, Mary. 107 likes in the stream. Thank you so much for all the likes. Oh. This one you really do need to have a good pace on it. Rulon says if you make us putt, everybody in the stream has to sub. There you go. Heard it here first, folks. Josh is saying he loves the Savinwood. Yeah, I think everybody loves the Savinwood once they get one. Easy yards, so forgiving. Scott says hi. Hi, Scott. How are you? Giacon says hi. Ramazan says hi. Josh says hi. Thank you, everybody. Hello to you all. Ramazan says hi. Hello, how are you? Josh asks how old I am. I'm 24. Unfortunately, 111 likes on the stream. Thank you so much for all the likes. Get lucky. Jaycon says hi. Christopher says what's up. Hi Christopher, how are you? 112 likes on the stream. Thank you, everybody. Shout out to all 112 of you that's liked. Go, go, go. No. That's twice we missed on 9. Me abro un poco de aspen yo Diego. Repite en inglés, por favor. Ah. Default. $114 likes in the stream. Thank you so much. Go, 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 go. Yes. I meant to be a sleeper now, my person. I'm watching. What time do you have to go to bed at, Josh? Icon says hi. Andrew says hello. 4 handicap playing 20 years from Devon. Nice to meet you, sir. Welcome to the stream. I am 11.9 handicap playing for 5 years from Northern Ireland. Everybody put their CVs in. Madhav says good evening, sir. Madhav, welcome back. How are you? 115 likes in the stream. Thank you so much for all the likes, everybody. Get up. Josh says, I've got a competition tomorrow for my county, so I just go 4-9. Fair enough. Good luck in your comp. On the bounce. Or we'll be living in the UK soon. You think so, Andrew? Nora says hi. Hi, Nora. Madhav says I'm good, thanks. Any nice weekend plans? No, working away. Oh, sorry guys. I defaulted to the wrong side. No, just work pretty much. Maybe a bit of golf on Sunday morning. Thank you, I will win it for you. Cheers, Josh, appreciate that. Oh, gee. I have to go, I will be back in 5, he says. You get to bed now for your comp. Thanks for all the love. 116 likes in the stream, thank you, everybody. Yep, instead of Florida, give it back. I'm not actually up to date, to be honest. But I know that he was meant to be divorcing and then didn't. Surely being in England's going to make it more depressed than Florida. Slay says hi, how are you? Amy says hi, Amy. Good left. She doesn't like Florida, apparently. Where's his woman from? America, isn't she? 117 likes in the stream. Thank you, everybody, for the likes. Appreciate it. Oh no. Where'd I go put other? Judith says hi, Judith, how are you? Let me do a quick sub update for you. Gosh! Up from 3605 to 3708. What? What? Thank you so much, everybody, for the subs. What? Crazy. The subs near match the amount of likes on that stream, which is nuts. Whoa. Guys, thank you so much. Madhav says, apart from golf, do you enjoy any other sports? I like snooker, like pool, used to play a bit of football, used to play a bit of rugby, but golf's the main one right now. It's hard to watch any sport when you're playing, idling, working, grinding. If she doesn't like Florida, how's she gonna like England? He switched to broomstick. I've switched to broomstick putter from one of the conventional ones. Love it. Yeah, apparently they're good. I used to use a long putter. We did says hi. Hey, do you know the meme 67? I think so. Yanderisa Sim Yanderisa Sim says, can you say my name? There's my best effort. Guys, thank you so much. 118 likes in the stream, 103 subs on the stream. So the subs near master likes, which is awesome. If you did enjoy the stream and you don't want to miss another one, just consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell. Wheatley says, what's your favourite putter? Right now I'm using the Rife. I did have a Scotty Cameron Select Del Mar, which was lovely. But unfortunately got nicked out of the car. It was all around. I need to get a haircut. Iris says, hi Iris, how are you? Thanks so much, no problem. He says, nice. KitKat says, you're so nice. Thank you very much, KitKat, appreciate it. But yes, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We are live every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, with the odd exception, around 7 p.m. UK time, so about 55 minutes prior to this. Could be half an hour before, could be half an hour after, but we're usually in around 7. But yeah, we do the odd stream on a Sunday, we bonus one, so hit the bell so you don't miss that, guys. Long form video posted this week. Speed training. So if you want to see me bashing a driver instead of tapping a putter, it's there for you if you want to check it out. But guys, thank you so much for all of the love. The stream's popping off right now. Matt Half says, thank you so much for the stream. All the best with your work. Appreciate it. You have a good weekend too, Matt Half. Yander Arisme is definitely a hard name to say. It says, I'm so happy IRL. Good. That's good. Stefano says, ho. Was I meant to say yo? Crawford with the emojis. Thank you for the stream. You're so nice. Thank you, thank you. Golf is mental and physical battle when you get low handicap. Yeah. Yeah, Peter Griffin glasses, they're easy. Only about £30 to buy, so handy. Sean says I broke my ankle on 9. Sorry to hear that. I have scraped my ankle before, so I somewhat know what you're going through. Where are you from? Northern Ireland. Thomas says hello. I'm trying to hop up a stream and everybody keeps going ham in the chat. Don't think I've seen a Northern Ireland live stream until now. You up a wah. Yeah, there's not many. There's definitely more famous people from Northern Ireland now, but yeah, there's not that many in the influencer scene. Guys, I'm gonna have to leave there. Thank you so much for all of the comments. Yes, Andrew, it is. Sorry, I don't know if I addressed that, but when you get lower handicap, yeah, it's all about keeping your cool. Steve says I'm back. Or sorry, Josh, heading off. Guys, thank you so much. KitKat says you need to be famous. This is insane. Thank you. S says class. Thanks for the comment, S. And Andrew says have a good evening. You too, guys. Have a good one. Check out the new short, the newest long form. Hit the sub, hit the bell, like the video. 123 likes, legends, guys. Have a good night. God bless, and we'll see you again on Monday or maybe Sunday if you're lucky. Good night.